Hello people, welcome back to class. Today we are going to be talking about formulas and functions in Excel. So we are going to be looking at min, max, if, ifs, len. We are going to be looking at right, left. We are going to be looking at trim. We are going to be looking at substitutes. We are going to be looking at some if, and some ifs. We are going to be looking at some ifs. We are going to be looking at concat. We are going to be looking at count and count ifs. Count if, count ifs. Then we are going to be looking at days and network days. So those are the formulas we are going to be looking at today. So without any delay, let's jump right into it. So to look at the marks, so now this is the sheet for the marks. You just click on the sheet and to open this interface for you. To look at the marks, for every formula in Excel, you have to start with equal to. Equal to, put your cursor there and click. Okay. Okay. Max, which is the maximum. It means the maximum. So we want to look at the maximum in the salary column. Enter. So the maximum in the salary column is 65,000. Then let's look at the mean. Same G2 to G41. G2 to G41. Then we enter. So the minimum on the salary column is 36. So the maximum is 65,000, while the minimum is 36,000. The file to this table will be attached in the link. So endeavor to download the file so you can follow step by step the way I'm doing it. Thank you. Then we go to if statement. If is a logical statement and it has one or two or multiple conditions. But for if, it's just a condition. But ifs is multiple condition. But now we want to look at if is a condition, we are looking at just a condition, which is whether yes or no. So now the condition is equals to if, then let's pick if from the option. If salary column, we are still working with the salary column. If G2, comma, sorry, if G2 is greater than 50,000, comma, open quotes, let's say if it's greater than 50,000, anything greater than 50,000, let's say he's high, HIGH, comma, if not is less. So let's open our quote again and put our low. If not is low, then let's shoot it. So anything below 50,000 should fall under low, and everything above 50,000 should fall under high. So that is how to achieve if. It's a yes or no answer. It's only one condition. It's either you take yes or you take no. But when we want to capture more than a condition, more than multiple conditions in itself, then we have to choose ifs. We have to choose ifs equals to ifs. Then we are still working with our G2, which is our salary column. G2, if it's greater than or equals to, this time let's do 60,000, comma, let's say it's excellent. We are looking at three conditions this time, comma. When we say, we still go ahead and say if G2 is greater than or equals to 50,000, now we want to capture that 50,000. If it's greater than or equals to 50,000, comma, let's call it good. Now, if G2, we are still working with G2, if G2 is lesser than 50,000, now let's look everything is lesser than 50,000, comma, let's call it average, or we could call it low. Let's call it low, since we target low before, so let's call it low. Now, let's close our parentheses and shoot. So, now, before, the option we had was yes or no. We didn't capture 50,000 if it's greater than or equals to 50,000, capture good, then I want to see why it's giving us Henny. 60,000 is excellent. Okay, so I just rephrased it. If is G2 is equals to 60,000, let's say good. If G2 is greater than and equals to 50,000, let's say, oh, excellent. Let's say it's good. If G2 is greater than 40,000, let's say it's average, true, or low. So anything that falls under 40,000, everything that is equals to 40,000 and low or down, we go to low. Anything 50,000, under the range of 50,000, we say in between good, and for 60,000 will be excellent. So let's shoot it. Okay, so it's actually correct. It's correct. Now, let's go to length. This is length of is length of our values in the cell. So it just goes like this. Equals to LEN. So say we want to know the length of salesman, um how many numbers are there? So you shoot it, you can see that salesman is 8 in number. So to get for all, you just double click the tiny plus down. Now let's go to right and left. Right and left are usually used for cleaning tables to remove values from the right or from the left. So to do this, equals to, now on the salesman, under job title, we want to remove just sales. We say right and left. We are working with left first. So left, job title, comma, how many value do you want to remove? We want to remove just 4 alphabets. Then we shoot it. So we can see that we have been able to remove 4 alphabets which amount to sales. So we can just copy down. Then we could do the same thing to the right. Just same way, opposite to left. Right. Then click on the same salesman, comma, maybe we just want to take 3. Then we shoot it. Then we go back and double click down. Now to trim. Trim is the act of cleaning the excesses in your table, cleaning all the excess spaces in your table. So there's not much cleaning here, but let me show you how it runs. Equals to trim. Then you pick, let's say we want to clean this gender, then you enter. So you go back and trim it down. So all the excesses, all the spaces that are not relevant, they'll be taken off. Then you have a smooth range. Then next one is substitute. What is substitute? Substitute is to replace a value with another. Is to replace a value with another. Say you have dash in your table, in your range, and your boss said you should replace it with slash, or say you have slash in your table and you want to replace it with something else. So you could just use a substituting function. So how do we go about that? You say equal to substitute. What's the text you are substituting? Is your start date. You can do with any date because this has a slash, that's why we are using that. Comma. What's the code text? Open your quotes, put your front slash. It's our whole text, put comma. Then what's the new text we want to put? We want to put dash instead of. So to put the dash, you still put it inside the quote. Put your quote, put your dash, put back your quote. Oh, this is underscore. Back your quote and shoot it. So you can see that we have double dash inside instead of having front slash. We have replaced our front slash with our dash. So we could also do it in instance. In first instance, say we want to just have it in the first one, and we don't want it to affect the second dash. So we could just go again and say equal to substitute. Let's work with this, comma. What are we changing? We are changing a hold dash What are we replacing it with? We are replacing it with a back slash a backslash. This is our backslash. Then we shoot it. So we can see. But this statement is incomplete. This statement is incomplete. Now we are talking about instance. So it's now after putting it, we put comma. Which instance do we want it? We want it in the first instance. Then we shoot it. So it will replace the first one as replace dash dash. If you want it in the second instance, you say second and it will replace the second one. Just like that. Just like that. So now we go to sum and SUMIF, and we know sum is totality of all the number. That will say equals to sum So we have G2 to G10, G2 to G to G40, G41. Then we enter. So this is the sum of everything, addition of all these numbers all together. Then sum if it comes with condition. Sum if is a male, some if it's a female, some if it's an accountant. It comes with it's a conditional statement. We want to sum a particular category in a table. So we say equals to sum if let's look at gender, sum if E to E41. As you can see, I just took the gender range, comma. Let's look at male gender, comma. Then what are we summing? We are summing the salary. So we also pick the salary range, which is G2 to G41, G2 to G41. So what we have done here is we summed all the salary range of a male gender, then shoot. So we have summed all the salary range of a male gender. So let's go to SUMIFS, which is a multiple condition. Multiple condition, just like we have if and ifs. Yes or no, or multi-yes or multi-no. So now we say equals to SUMIFS. So we are working with the salary column, which is G2 to G41, comma. We are working with the gender column, which is he to E41, comma, F2 to F41, which is the job title, comma. Then we input our female, comma, and we input our job title. Accountant. Yes, I know. There's need for a quote here. Yes. Close the quotes. Some ifs. There's a typo error. Some ifs. Which range are we working with? Gender, G, G2 to G41, comma, speak gender, which is female, comma. Then we are working with job title. Job title is F2 to F41, F2 to F41, comma. Then let's type out, we want to look at accountant, female accountant, comma. Then what else again? We are looking at their gender. We haven't put the gender column, which is E2 to E41. The we want to look at the female accountant salary. Female accountant salary. Then now we put in our gender column, which is E2 to E41. There's a problem. This formula, no. The formula is correct.